Cheers, and welcome back to Cooking with MoWino. So today we are making what I am debating to call an Italian shepherd's pie, but it's going to be vegetarian. I love when I can have a hearty, delicious, savory meal all in one pot and a clean kitchen and sit down at the dining room table with friends and family and know that the kitchen's already clean. So nothing's better to me that serves that purpose as a shepherd's pie. So I make Irish shepherd's pie, which is with whole pieces of lamb, Irish American shepherd's pie, which is usually ground beef or ground lamb. I make a Cuban shepherd's pie, but today I'm making an Italian shepherd's pie, but vegetarian with lentils. So you've seen the ingredient board and you've seen my prep. Now what I'm going to do is that I am going to saute in some olive oil my chopped vegetables, beautifully ready for you. That's 1/3 cup each of red bell pepper, celery, carrots, and onions. Saute that in wine, get it all tenderized, and then we're going to add our lentils and our potatoes and our layering of goodness. So, cheers. So I have 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and I am going to put in my vegetables. Make sure you get them all in there. And all I'm going to do is do a very soft saute until they start to tenderize. And then we are going to give them their beautiful wine bath and let them simmer and absorb all those beautiful complexities of the Vermentino, Italian white wine that I adore. Those have been sauteing on a medium-low. I can see that they're getting a little soft. So I'm just going to add a layer of spice. I have white pepper. I always put it in my hand because it comes out very fast. I'm not going to salt anything yet because we are going to be adding so many layers of flavor. There's going to be some natural salt that comes in. Just a little bit of red pepper. I have 1 large potato that I have chopped roughly into small chunks, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Potatoes are cut pretty small, as you can see. Hopefully you can see. So they shouldn't take that long to cook, but again to medium-low. And I have a 1/2 cup of my Vermentino. I'm going to put that in what I call giving my vegetables a wine bath. Just going to make sure everything's flat, similar to how I do with risotto. Let this simmer until the wine evaporates, and the potatoes are just going to be a little tender, but they won't be done. So just right now we'll have our little wine bath. Call this, I guess, the relaxation spa time. Our vegetables have been in their wine bath sauteing for about, I guess, 10-15 minutes on a very medium to very low heat. It never came to a boil, but now we have our cup of red lentils that I have washed and drained. Just gonna stir this in so everything's well incorporated. So I have here some of my homemade vegetable antioxidant broth that I make from Urban Composting 101, for those of you who know me well. And I am going to, each ladle is a 1/2 cup. I'm going to start with 2 cups and see what level we get at. But I have 4 cups here, and already I can say we're going to need the 4 cups. Yeah, because it barely covers our lentils. Pat this down. Make sure everything's under the broth. I'm going to bring that to a boil and to a low simmer. And we are going to cook our lentils, and our potatoes will get cooked through. And the point here is for the broth to evaporate. And then, okay, so our lentils and vegetables have now cooked thoroughly, and we have still some moisture in our pan here, as you can see. I really want to add my tomato and basil sauce, so I'm going to do this incrementally and just add 3 of this. this. It's basically just going to enhance the flavor. This beautiful filling. We're going to let it sit. We're going to put it in a casserole dish, make our mashed potatoes, and add a few more secret ingredients. Okay, we have our lentil stuffing, or here, I'll go this way. We're going to pour it into our casserole dish with the assistance of Mom. Scrape. Beautiful. All right, now we're going to make our mashed potatoes and add that layer and bring you back. Okay, so one layer we're going to add now is a layer of Parmesan cheese. So we have our casserole that has been sitting, our pie, and now we have about 3 to 4 cups of mashed potatoes that I've slightly buttered. But now I'm going to add a cup, or I would say it's probably 3/4 of a cup of grated Parmesan cheese, just to add to our Italiano flavoring, as you can see. So now all I'm going to do is kind of dollop it in big clumps, and then very slowly and gently spread it out. Now I wouldn't skimp on this layer because I think this is part of the major yumminess of a shepherd's pie. And it doesn't have to go all the way, but you just want to make sure every definite bite will have this yumminess. And then, as the last bit of decadence, I just have some butter here that I've cut into small cubes, and I'm just going to sprinkle this. A little bit of olive oil. Now we're going to bake this at 350 for at least a half an hour. Remember, everything's cooked. We want it to get really bubbly hot, and we want the mashed potatoes to get a little crispier. So I'm going to start it at half an hour, and then I'm going to check it out and maybe leave it for another 15 minutes, but we'll see.